This one is on you, President Felix Tshisekedi. This one is on you. You should resign. 2 boats, 2 nights. 10 September, 11 September. More than 200 lives lost, many of them children, on their way back to school. They didn't die from drowning. No. They died from government incompetence, government indifference, and runaway corruption. From systemic failure. My name is Bwakali and Africa is my superpower. Welcome to African Awakening, the Pan-African show that is awakening, uniting, and transforming Africa. Today, we mourn, we question, and we demand answers. The setting is Equateur Province, hundreds of kilometers northeast of Kinshasa. On Wednesday night, September 10th, a motorized boat called Bokenda capsized at the confluence of the Nsolo and Maringa rivers. The passengers, mostly students, aged between 12 and 15. A day later, another boat, HB Bonga, caught fire and sank on the Congo River. About 500 people were crammed on board. Imagine being 12 years old. You have spent your holiday in the village. You are excited, nervous, maybe even hopeful as you travel back to town for the new school year. That's what those students were doing. But instead of classrooms and chalkboards, they found chaos, water, fire, and death. More than 100 children drowned. Entire families wiped out, dreams silenced before they could even start. And here's the bitter irony. Congo is the richest poor country in the world. Rich in cobalt, diamond, gold. Yet students gamble with their lives on unsafe boats in the river just to get to school. That's completely unacceptable. We cannot allow that to continue happening. At the time of these twin disasters, President Felix Tshisekedi was not in Congo. He was on a state visit to Kazakhstan. By the time he returned, the rivers had already claimed their dead. He held a meeting with his ministers, but as of today, he has not spoken directly to the people about these tragedies. Silence is also a statement. I ask, where is the dignity for the dead? And where is the leadership for the living? Where is it? Where? Congo is the size of Western Europe, but it has fewer than 3,000 kilometers of paved roads. That's much less than Kenya, a country that is 7 times smaller. For millions of Congolese, rivers are not an option. They are the only highways they have. But those highways have no traffic police, no safety rules, no accountability. Boats are overloaded. They travel at night. Passengers cook meals in open fires, on wooden decks. Disaster is inevitable. And yet, every time tragedy strikes, officials promise reforms. And every time the reforms sink into silence, just like the boats. We cannot continue like this. This cannot be the case. This is not the first time. In fact, there have been at least 4 major boat disasters in Equator Province this year alone. over 500 people have died in just 9 months. The pattern is predictable. Boat sinks, bodies recovered. Government promises. Nothing changes. Nothing changes. Nothing changes. When neglect becomes routine, it is no longer an accident. It is a system. And in Congo, that system is broken. It's broken. Every time a child dies on their way to school, an entire classroom dies with them. Teachers lose students. Parents lose children. Nations lose futures. And this is not just in Congo. In Malawi, Nigeria, Kenya, Tanzania, unsafe transport kills students every single year. These deaths rarely make international headlines, but they make permanent holes in African families. Just a quick one before I go on. Last year, I wrote a book about historic African leaders like Thomas Sankara, Patrice Lumumba, Julius Nyerere, and of course, Ibrahim Traore. There are nearly 100 of them in that book. Many of you have already bought the book, and I'm very grateful for that. If you haven't bought it, please head on to Amazon and purchase your copy. Both physical and digital copies are available. Thanks a lot. Africa cannot afford to keep burying its future on the roads and in the rivers of neglect. That cannot be the Africa of this generation. Someone is profiting from this chaos. Boat owners who overload their vessels, local officials who look the other way, politicians who keep budgets for roads and transport locked in corruption. Who pays? Students who never make it to class, families who bury their loved ones in shallow graves, nations that bleed talent before it even blossoms. In Africa, the dead always pay the highest price. For what? Why? Why? This does not need to be our fate. It doesn't. Congo could enforce daylight-only travel. It could regulate capacity. It could invest in safe river transport. Above all, it could build roads and railways. What of a nation so rich? But beyond Congo, this is Africa's shared lesson. Infrastructure is not luxury, it is survival. The question is this: will African leaders finally choose life over contracts, dignity over deals, future over excuses? Will they do it? Two boats, 200 lives, too many children. This is not just Congo's tragedy, it is Africa's wake-up call. My name is DJ Bwakali, and Africa is my superpower. I intend to use this superpower to ensure that we in Africa stop burying children because of neglect and indifference. We cannot continue like that. You, my fellow African, and I must awaken. We must unite. We must transform Africa. And to Felix Tshisekedi, you cannot keep silent as this continues happening. And when you speak, excuses are not going to absolve you from responsibility. Felix Tshisekedi, we understand that regional leaders right here in Africa, global powerhouses, we understand that they are all interfering and exploiting Congo. But it is up to you to ensure that children do not die on their way back to school. And if you can't do it, resign. See you soon. Whatever happens, we are making it we are transforming Africa.